Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and this is my review of Fear Clinic. A doctor works to cure patients suffering from crippling phobias by placing them inside his invention, which induces and controls hallucinations. Starring Thomas Dekker, Robert Englund, Kevin Gage, etc. I was excited to see this more than any reason because Robert Englund's star is starring in it. Robert Englund, as all horror fanatics will know, is Freddy Krueger. I say is because even though there has been a reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, he has embodied Freddy Krueger like nobody else, and he's a horror icon and deserves all the praise that he gets. That being said, Fear Clinic, it's I mean, I've seen movies like this before where um, a doctor, mad scientist type, you want to cure a patient of something, so you go to ridiculous lengths to do so. What surprised me with this movie, Robert Englund's character is actually not what you think he's gonna be, because of who he's played in the past. You're expecting a certain kind of character, and he actually isn't that character. I don't want to go into too much detail other than to say that it was a nice turn to see him more of a sympathetic character than you would expect. Fear Clinic, the positives about it was the acting was actually quite good. It's starring character people like Thomas Dekker, who you'll recognize from the Sarah Connor Chronicles. He played John Connor. Also stars Fiona Dourif, whom some of you may know. She was in the last Child's Play movie, the most recent one, and she's also the daughter of Brad Dourif, who is also a horror icon, as he is the voice of Chucky, and she does quite well. So does all the actors involved, and I think that goes a long way in making this movie better than it actually is. Which brings me to the negatives. This movie needed to be edited more tighter. It isn't, the pacing is not good at all. You see, when it's a horror movie, you need to keep that level of suspense, that level of dread, that level of fear amped up to keep people involved. It's like the first Saw was very good at that. You get the feeling like there was a clock counting down in the back of your mind to death, and Fear Clinic doesn't do that. It stretches certain themes way too long. There's also a twist there that I figured out really, really, really quickly. I don't know how many other people will. I think horror aficionados will figure it out. But if I guess others won't. Maybe they'll look at it as a big gasp. But it was a little predictable for me in that sense. The special effects was really well done. I have to say, there are moments where they show fear as a physical entity, and I was surprised how fantastic that damn thing looked. It looked like a mix of CGI and practical effects. I don't know if it was, but it was really well done, and again, I have to give it a point just for that. So the strengths of this movie were the actors, the effects, but the story wasn't a bad one. I know a doctor trying to cure the phobias of his patients. He puts them in this machine, and it only makes things worse. But it just didn't pace well. It just wasn't suspenseful. It wasn't thrilling. I enjoyed it because I think I was watching it. I was watching it with a friend of mine, and she was quite into it, and it made it interesting. I think if I was watching this by myself, I may have been bored a bit. So I'm gonna give Fear Clinic a 5 out of 10. It's not a bad horror movie watch. It's definitely something mainstreamers and people who really like jump at basic boo scares would probably get a kick out of. But for hardcore horror fans, this one is as basic as it gets. So Fear Clinic gets a 5 out of 10. Okay, guys, till next time. Bye.